Children, how are you all? Are you watching the videos and studying? Today we are going to study third lesson. It is in second theme, mystery and suspense. The name of the lesson is The Hound of the Baskerville. It is an excerpt. Excerpt means a small part taken from a literary composition. So it is an excerpt from The Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle. Now I would like to tell something about the author Arthur. He was born in Edinburgh into a strict Irish Catholic family in 1859. He started out as a doctor and broke into the world of literature when he wrote Sherlock Holmes. He was one of the most noted writers in the field of crime fiction. He also believed in fairies. For the character of Holmes, Arthur drew on his own experiences from the world of medicine and scientific study. Before coming to the lesson, let us know the plot of the story. The story is set in the Moors of Durham. Moors means a heath or uncultivated land with sandy soil and scrubby vegetation. This story starts like this way, children. Two persons, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, were investigating the mysterious death of Sir Charles Baskerville. Baskerville family had one curse. The local people think in that way, children. Because of this curse, a monstrous demon dog was wandering around the moor to seek revenge against the Baskerville family. One more life was also in danger, that is the life of Sir Henry Baskerville, the heir of Sir Charles. Heir means one who inherits property or successor. The intention of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson was to save the life of Sir Henry and to catch the real murderer or Sir Charles. For this, Watson first meet four people, that is Barrymore, his wife, one archaeologist Stapleton, and his sister Beryl Stapleton. Same time, Holmes was doing his own investigation with the help of Lestrade. Who is this Lestrade, children? He was a police detective. They visited Baskerville's house, saw one portrait of Sir Hugo Baskerville. Then he understood the resemblance or similarity between this man and Stapleton. Now he was very much sure that Stapleton also belongs to Baskerville family and he wanted to kill Sir Henry also because then he would inherit all the wealth. Isn't it, children? So these detectives wanted to save Sir Henry's life and also they wanted to arrest this man who? Stapleton. Children, I hope you understood the plot of the story. Now we will move to the lesson. I'll read the first line. We picked up Lestrade at the railway station and arrived at Baskerville Hall. Here, who were these we children? Yes, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. They had gone to railway station and picked up Lestrade, who was a police detective, already I told. In a carriage, they were going to Baskerville's mansion. When they reached there, they got down, given money to the carriage man, and now they were walking towards the Merripit house. Whose house it is, children? Stapleton's house. They were going there only, no? Who was tensely here, children? Dr. Watson. Lestrade was also not comfortable now. From this sentence, we can understand it. My God, it doesn't seem a very cheerful place, said Lestrade. So he was also not comfortable. In that cold night, they were going towards that house very slowly and silently. Somewhat 200 yards away from the house, Sherlock told them to stop. Then he instructed them in this way. Watson should creep and go there and see what they are doing. Sherlock and Lestrade will hide behind a rock. When Watson reached there means in that house, he could see Sir Henry and Stapleton were sitting at the round table, and in front of them there was coffee and wine. Stapleton was very happy, but Henry was in sad mood. He didn't see Beryl Stapleton, that is already told now, is his sister. He came back and told them everything. To whom? Sherlock and the companion. A dense white fog spread everywhere, and Sherlock wished that Sir Henry should come out before this fog disappeared. He knelt down there and put his ear to the ground, or we can say, children, he was listening. He heard the sound of Henry's footsteps. They were waiting for Henry. Now, this Sherlock heard Henry's footsteps. Very patiently they were waiting for him. Last they saw him coming and went down here to their hiding place. Suddenly Sherlock saw something and told the others to look that side. By the time he was ready with his revolver. When they saw the creature, what was their reactions? That we can find out from these lines. I'll read that small paragraph. We stared into the fog, and then I saw Holmes' lips part in amazement while Lestrade gave a yell of terror. I was frozen by the sight. Here I means Watson. The sight of the dreadful shape which came leaping towards us. It was a hound, an enormous coal-black hound, but such a hound human eyes had never seen. Fire burst from its mouth. Its eyes glowed, and its jaws were outlined in flickering flame. It seemed like a hound from hell. What is it, children? A hound. See the creature in this picture, children. Same way only, no? A type of dog only, this hound. How it was? An enormous means extra. Enormous means extraordinary, unusual, or extremely large. So it was an enormous coal-black hound. Fire was coming out from its mouth, and its eyes were glowing and jaws were like a flame only. So they saw in this way. By seeing this creature in that way, Lestrade cried in horror, Watson became frozen, and Sherlock's mouth opened widely in amazement. That picture you can see. Did you see that one? They thought that it was coming from hell. Children, are you frightened? We will continue the lesson. See, children, this creature, how it was moving towards Henry. This creature wanted to kill Henry. With long bounds, here bound means a great leap or jump. So it was following him. With long bounds, it was following him. By seeing this creature, at first they were stunned, means shocked, or they were unable to act. After that, they understood that Sir Henry's life was in danger. Then they started to fire. When the bullet hit this creature, it gave a hideous howl, means a dreadful or very unpleasant or frightening cry. But it didn't stop. They saw Henry far away looking back in horror. They had wounded this animal, so they must kill them. Otherwise, it would be a great danger. Sherlock ran faster than others. The creature already started to attack this poor Henry. Next moment, Sherlock had fired this creature many times. See this picture, children. You will get the clear idea from this picture. With a last roar of agony, it rolled upon its back, its 4 feet pawing the air, and then fell limp on its side. Here pawing the air means after the firing, the creature lay on its back and it was moving its paws in the air. Limp means lifeless. So children, the hound last it was dead. Sir Henry became unconscious. But they were happy because they could save his life. When he had opened his eyes, he inquired about that creature. They informed him that they had killed that creature. After touching its paws, Watson's fingers were gleaming. That means shining. What is the reason, children? It is because the presence of phosphorus. It is a chemical which glows. This phosphorus, it is a chemical which glows. Because of this phosphorus, the animal will lose his sense of smell. Actually, a dog relies on its sense of smell to interpret the world. Now they understood everything. Sherlock asked pardon because she asked pardon to whom? This man. Because first they did not act on time, and because of that Henry's life was in danger. But Henry was happy and told them that they had saved his life. Because of these incidents, Henry was not able to even stand properly. So they made him to sit under the shelter of a rock. When they moved towards Merripit house, there they found Beryl. Where did they find her, children? In an upstairs room. Now what was her condition? She was bound and gagged. That means she was tied and cloth was in her mouth. She was not able to make sound or move from that place. Actually, she was Stapleton's wife only. In front of others, she was living as his sister. In the beginning, we have seen, no? It is written, this is Stapleton's sister. She was living like Stapleton's sister in front of others, but actually she was his wife only. When they untied her, she led them to Stapleton's secret hideout. When they reached there, they found him as dead. What happened to him, children? He slipped and fallen into the mire. Here mire means an area of deep mud into which one can be sucked. So he slipped and fallen into this mire and dead. Last, this was his fate. The story ends in this way. Did you understand, children? Okay. Thank you, children.